Hi there, I'm Dr. Albert Chung and welcome to your friendly proctologist. The goal of these videos, and always has been, always will be, to give you real, helpful, and useful information that's easy to understand. I want you to be able to take the information here and help yourselves. And I hope you get something out of these videos. So recently, I've been watching some YouTube. I'm a YouTube addict, admittedly. And there's a GI doctor that was saying that Colace, or it's also called Docusate, is useless. They said that there are studies that showed there was no difference between people that were on Colace or not. So when this doctor sees a medication list, if there's Colace or Docusate on it, they tell the patient to just stop taking it. They say it's useless. It makes no difference. Just point blank, blanket statement saying it's useless, don't take it. And I think that's too bad. This doctor, unfortunately, has a very superficial understanding of constipation. So that's what prompted me to make this video today. I want to go through 6 reasons why you're getting constipated. And it's not as simple as just taking Colace or Docusate. And it's not as simple as just saying it helps nobody. You've got to know the reasons why. You've got to understand the whole scope of this huge topic condition called constipation. Before we get there though, I want to mention the sponsor of this channel, which is Pranicura, and they've been a great partner to this channel. Why? Because our goals and our mission are the same. We want to give people options, real solutions that can actually help you, okay? And Pranicura, I want to give you a tip on this holiday season. I use it when I want to lubricate my bottom end. And no, it's not for anything like stretching or using, for my finger to relax my muscles. I use it when I'm walking down the airport. I've got a really long day of patients. I'm walking, I'm running here and there. Just a little dab of the stuff on the outside can create some frictionless, non-greasy feel. Okay, and so my bottom end doesn't feel so sore at the end of the day. If you're sweating, okay, and you get that rubbery rubbing when you're walking around, that's what I like this cream for as well. You don't have to be in a flare to use it, is my other point. And then when you're done with your flight, you've flown across the country or across the world, and you get that hard poop because, accidents happen. The Pranicura is there with you, and it's also on you to help heal you and help treat you, okay? So you can only get Pranicura from the website. Take a look at the reviews and see how people are being helped by this. And consider it for yourself. I highly encourage you to try the 30-day Pranicura challenge. Okay, so let's go through the reasons here. Here we go. Reason number 1 for being constipated is about water. And I'm not just talking about water that you drink, because there's tons of people that drink like a gallon of water a day. They're going pee like every 15 minutes, but they still have hard poop. I'm talking about water in the poop that is sitting on top of your anus at the end of the train ride, okay? It's sitting there on top of your anus. You feel it's like this big boulder that's tough to move, and you gotta push, strain, struggle to get this thing to move and stretch out your anus muscle, which, believe me, it is fighting against you. It's closing down, okay, to get this thing in your toilet. And so for sure, this constipation, when people say that, it's gonna feel like there's a blockage there. Something just does not want to exit. It may feel huge. Your pelvis, your back, your tailbone may even feel this poop, and all that sensation together may give the person this feeling of constipation. Reason number 2 for being constipated is medications. Well, duh, Dr. Chung, that's obvious. We're not talking about just heart medications, diuretics, which make you pee away the water. We're talking about even narcotic pain medication, antidepressants, the list goes on and on, right? But essentially, because of the way the drugs are working, they have side effects which unnecessarily, kind of like innocent bystander, and the poop, your anus, may be accidentally hit by the drive-by, right? You may get the hard poop at the end of your anus, at the end of the train ride, like we talked about before, and feel blocked, constipated. But some of these also slow down the movement, whether it's the nerves, whether it's, the nerves that are telling the intestines to move forward, but these medications block that action. And so you may feel bloated, things are moving slow, and people may say constipated. Number 3 has to do with hormones causing constipation, and it may be an imbalance of that, or too high a level, too low a level. There are hormones for everything: satiety, feeling full, feeling hunger, telling things to move along. And hormones, what are they? They are chemicals made by our organs that are sent through the bloodstream as a message to another organ. That's how your kidneys can talk to your colon. When the kidneys are getting dehydrated, they feel the water content is low, they're going to send that message to the colon and steal water from it. So now you got this big hard brick on top of your anus, right? And so that fast absorption of water can make people feel that blockage, constipation. What about thyroid hormone being low? That's a classic one. People feel super constipated with that. And that can turn their motility. The intestines are moving things slower, and also, again, create that hard brick at the end of the train ride. So again, lots of different, whether it's one or the other or both, giving the feeling of constipation. Number 4, the composition or contents of your food. Another duh, Dr. Chung. Some people it's like processed carbohydrates, processed food. Some people it's the meat. Some people it's the spices. Whatever it may be, you know that when you're trying to figure out, you're like taking out a food, eating less of, but the chemicals in our food. I'm not just talking about what additives are put in by the processing plant. I'm talking about the chemical in a plant leaf, chemical in a potato or the pasta. These are all things that may change the digestion, change the speed at which food travels, or create a hydration issue where your poop is a hard brick at the end of the train ride. Number 5 is intestinal motility. And what I mean by that is the rate at which things move. Okay, there's this condition called colonic inertia. And what that means is that people's movement of poop goes so slowly through the colon. You've heard of some people that may poop every 2 to 3 days. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who poop maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe poop once a month. There are people that will never poop because things don't move at all. Their colon just does not want to move. And many people are born this way. Other people may develop that over time. We don't quite understand it. But think of another organ. Have you heard of gastroparesis? The stomach is like a bag, just a grocery bag which doesn't do anything. Things just get stuck in the stomach, the food goes down, but then they throw up because the stomach is not emptying and pushing it through into the next train car, right? And so this motility, things being able to squeeze and being able to do it at a speed that will help us stay nutritionally adequate. We got to keep eating. Food needs to be broken down, absorbed, so that we can survive. But if things are moving so slowly, you can get and feel full and bloated, or you can feel nauseous, and some people get, again, that hard poop where things are getting blocked. Number 6 are feeling constipated. In addition, kind of following that same line with the motility, is the coordination. Okay, the nerves in our intestines need to fire on that muscle and tell the muscle when to do its job and how hard it needs to squeeze. Maybe it's a gentle one, right? Lots of things like amplitude and frequency, the timing of things. Very, very complicated stuff if you think about this. And we're all doing it unconsciously. Our brain is doing that and firing signals without us knowing. Isn't that incredible? But how mysterious that is, okay? So if we're thinking about milking a cow udder, you got a rhythmic flow here. And that's the same thing with the food. As it passes through our intestine, we want things to move forward. We don't want it to just stay still or go backwards. So if things are moving at the same time with the intestine along the train, the food may get stuck in the middle here. Or if things are going backwards, the food will go backwards. And we want this continuous movement as it moves down the pipeline. So people may feel constipated because things are bloated, things are not moving. People may feel pain or cramping in their abdomen, right? And again, if it's not coordinated, what about the pelvic floor? Those group of muscles, the levators, the sphincter muscles, those need to be moving at the same time. The rectum needs to squeeze as well. So many different parts. Relaxation, contraction, opposite ends of the spectrum, muscle function. And is your mind blowing up yet? Mine is. How the heck does this stuff know what it's supposed to do? Super complicated, but again, people can feel like they're stuck. Things are blocked because those muscles are not working together. Even to the point where people are scooping out their poop with their fingers because things are not moving, things are not relaxing. There's a ton of reasons for that. Bonus reason number 7, okay, is the emotional or mental stress, mental brain signals that are being sent down to our intestines, okay? I've always mentioned this before in my previous videos, but stress, whether it's positive or negative stress, okay, good or bad, can create constipation in a flash. Some people, it'll create diarrhea in a jiffy, okay? And I'll tell you a personal story here. Whenever I go mountain biking, my friends always know that I have to take a poop, okay? It's guaranteed. Why is that? Because I'm so excited about what I'm about to do, about having a ton of fun with my friends, that whatever I ate half an hour ago is already out, okay? And so some people, when they get a loss of a job, things are not good. People can get constipated and stressed, and they can feel that hard poop at the end of the train ride, okay? But these messages are constantly being sent. Here's another thing you might notice about the emotional things is that it makes your treatments, whatever you're doing for the routine to soften your poop, whether it's the foods, medications you take, it makes it extremely inconsistent, right? You may find that, prunes may help me this day and that day, like 90% of the time, but there are times like randomly where it does not work. But one thing you may not have realized is during that time, you were going through moving. You were going through a child who got hurt and is being in the hospital, and those things may completely screw things up, and it may completely override anything else that you're doing in your life. And so those are 7 reasons why someone may get constipated. And the feeling of constipation is also extremely broad. And so when I allude back to the story of that GI doctor who just cuts off Colace blindly for any patient, this doctor does not bother to take the time to understand why this person is constipated. This doctor even check a thyroid hormone level. Does this person even do a colonoscopy? This person bothered to do extensive interview to understand what symptoms and what that correlates to. Pelvic floor, intestinal motility, colon motility, small intestine, gastroparesis. I mean, the list goes so long, and this doctor just willy-nilly, just because a few papers say that Colace doesn't work, makes no sense to me at all. And so that's why I feel like spending the time with the patient, actually talking through your issues, is the most important thing, because constipation, you just saw it. The definitions go from A to 10 million, and people use that word to describe so many different sensations, and you can't just throw a pill at that person. It doesn't work. It's just not how it goes. And I wanted to make this video to, again, explain to you and show you how difficult constipation is to treat and to diagnose as well, the exact cause. Because I'll tell you, I agree with some parts of it that many doctors will just blanket, treats with Colace. Say, oh, you got constipation? Oh yeah, take a Colace. Here, have a Colace. There, Colace. Look, eat it like Skittles. And that's also incorrect too, which I get. That's the main focus here. But again, you can't fix a wrong with a wrong. Okay, and so I hope this video was very helpful for you today. And as we leave and close the video, I want to discuss PranaCure again. Try it out on your holiday trip when you've got a long commute to go. Maybe you're doing a long road trip, and this could be very helpful to keep your bottom end complaint free as much as possible. I wish you a happy holidays, and I hope you're doing well. Go to PranaCure.com and order yourself a jar. Bye-bye!